so shortly after the disassembly incident, I found out that you can do something called programming, where you get to boss the computer around and tell it what to do.
Welcome to 100 Days of Trailhead, where the tech community comes to learn Salesforce, learn tech, get inspired, and invest in ourselves. We are your trail guides, here to support you on your learning journey. We release videos weekly. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a video. In the description below, you can find links for everything we mention in this video, as well as books and resources we found useful. Visit our blog, 100daysoftrailhead.com, for other helpful Salesforce and tech content. 100 Days of Trailhead wanted to take time during International Women's History Month to honor women by sharing resources for women on their tech and career journeys. Today we have the honor of sharing the story of a woman who went from curiosity to entrepreneur. Miranda Ragland is the founder and CEO of M7 Unlimited and a Golden Hoodie winner. Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel Watson. I'm one of the co-founders here at 100 Days of Trailhead, and we're here with Miranda Ragland today. Thank you for being with me.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Well, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into tech.
My tech journey started at a pretty early age. For people who already know me, you've probably heard this story before, but I was always super curious and was privileged enough to have a computer in the household at a pretty early age. And because I was so curious, I wanted to know how it worked. So one day I got some tools out of the garage and took the thing apart. Yeah. Dad wasn't too happy about that.
I wouldn't think so.
But there is a happy story, or a happy ending to the story, because when I told my dad it was okay, and I put the entire thing back together completely from memory, I swear to you, it was just like, it was just like the cartoons, like dollar signs just started popping out of my dad's eyes. Yeah, and then ever since that moment, my parents, they went all in, and anything I wanted to do with tech, they supported me in that. And oh gosh, when I was about 7 or so, so shortly after the disassembly incident, I found out that you can do something called programming, where you get to boss the computer around and tell it what to do. At least that's how I looked at it. I still kind of do. And yeah, I absolutely fell in love with programming. So I ended up studying it in, self-taught, and then by the time college came around, I majored in computer science, and then basically followed the same old struggle of trying to get a job. Eventually cracked that egg, and 15 or so years later, here I am.
I've never heard anybody say that programming is like bossing a computer around, but I love that, because that is a great way to think about it, because it's really just inputs and outputs, and you have to tell it what to do. You're absolutely correct. That was really awesome.
And short of a bug or anything like that, like in the hardware or in the operating system or in some other layer that you don't control, short of that, computers do exactly what you tell them to do. They don't always do what you want, but they do what you tell them to do.
True. I can say that, I've definitely had some logic that just didn't work, and I had to look back at it and go, oh, yeah, not the computer, was me. All right, understood.
Sadly, it usually is us.
So since it is International Women's History Month, I want to talk a little bit about being a woman in tech. So what does being a woman in tech mean to you? And then furthermore, does that have you seen it differ than your peers, for your experience?
Well, I actually have, it's certainly not a unique experience, but I have, let's just call it a different experience from some other women. Being a trans woman, I have seen it from both sides. Um, and transitioning while breaking into tech was very illuminating, because from 1 month to the next, all of a sudden, people stopped listening to me.
Mm. Wow.
And so that was difficult. It took some getting used to, and then it took, figuring out how to find my voice again. And I've actually, a big part of that was actually joining a women in tech community and networking with other women, and finding our strength together.
That's wonderful. And I think that's very well said. I think that finding that group and, having women support women, I think that's really what it's all about. And that's what we should be here for, is to support each other. So thank you for that. So there's something that maybe some people don't know about you. You're an entrepreneur. You have a consultancy and you have an app. So as a woman entrepreneur, do you find it more challenging than your male counterparts, or from your perspective, does it seem more challenging?
Certainly, given the giving the biases against women, at least that I've observed, and we've heard plenty of stories. I know it's certainly not just me. It's kind of hard to say though, because I never know if if I'm seeing these biases because I'm a woman, or if because I'm trans, or if because I struggle with communication a lot. Um, and like, I never quite know what the, I can never narrow it down to like just one thing. I can suspect it, but honestly, I try not to focus on details like that. I've always kind of been a pig-headed, go after what I want person, and like, if you're gonna put a hurdle in my way, I'm just gonna do the little whoop right over it.
And I love that about you, that you do. You set your sight on your goals, and that's where you're headed. So I really admire that about you. Um, so now that we're talking about hurdles, challenges, how do you keep yourself motivated when you have an unfair challenge, or perceived unfair, right, that is set in front of you?
I really wish I had something, like, I don't know if deep is the right word. Like, honestly, I just put my head down and do the work. I like, there's no real secret. I just keep going. I know through my experiences that I'm not going to get my way every single time, much as I wish I could. Uh, but if I if I, like I said, just put my head down, just keep doing the work, and keep my own self-confidence up, I get through it. And I've faced challenges time and time again, and I've been able to overcome almost every single one of them. So
Absolutely. And I think
I just look to that, looking to the past for confidence.
absolutely. And I think challenges are a human experience. It's not unique to women. It's not unique to trans women. It's not unique to any persona. It's a human experience. And I think that you spoke quite eloquently about that. It's a lot of just tenacity sometimes. Sometimes that's what you have to be, is tenacious. to get through something. And I think you spoke really well about that, that you just put your head down and just keep going.
See, it's easy to say. It's a lot harder to do in the moment because,
Certainly.
in the moment the world's crashing down around you. But
Absolutely.
I wish I wish I had a formula for like telling people like this is how you do it. But it's really no one knows you better than you. So
Yeah, and then I think that also if you do have a support system like a group that you can go to, in this case, like women's group or, a friends group that just remind you of who you are, remind you that you are that tenacious human being that goes after your goals
yeah,
and you can do it. And so I think you
definitely.
alluded to that as well.
Yeah, I certainly didn't get here on my own. I've had plenty of people cheering me on, including you.
Aw, thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you. You've helped me a lot.
So we've talked a lot about challenges. We talked about, what it is to be a woman in tech. And sometimes as a woman, we have to overcome hurdles and challenges that other people may not have to overcome. However, we haven't talked about your accomplishments. So what would you say is your biggest accomplishment as a woman in tech?
Definitely starting my company. If you go back to my high school yearbook, the how there's they always get the different quotes and they've got like the most likely to succeed and everything, like all of that stuff. On my quote, it's like they had asked like, what do you want to do, or where do you see yourself in X number of years, or something like that. And I had said that I was going to pole vault in the 2024 Olympics, and kind of missed the boat on that one. But the other one that I said was I wanted to own my own software development company. And it's one of those things that you say for a high school yearbook. But I just went to my 20-year reunion last year, maybe the year before, I don't know. No, definitely not last year, the year before. And yeah, I did it.
That's awesome. That is a huge accomplishment. I think it'd be really interesting to find out from the audience, who had dreams in high school that has now been realized. Because I mean, for me, I can say that I didn't know really what I wanted to do, not necessarily in high school. So I think that would be really interesting. Comment below if you do have dreams that were realized or you're really close to achieving that. I would love to hear that. So let's shift from being a woman in tech and let's learn more about Miranda, who Miranda is. So, what is your biggest dream that is unfulfilled as of today?
Oh gosh, biggest dream unfulfilled as of today. Um, it, honestly, it's still, I've got so much more I want to do with my company. I got the first taste of being an employer, and creating opportunities for others and sharing it with them. So at this point, I want to scale. I want to go bigger. Um, it's kind of addicting, like when you get to share your dream with someone else and help them realize theirs, or at least, you know, at least provide them stable income through a global pandemic. So,
Absolutely.
oh,
Absolutely.
that was a challenge. Uh, but yeah, I really want to, continue and make this bigger. I want us to grow to be a premier provider. And and I just really love to get to the point where people, where we as a team would have a reputation that like people would want to come work with us.
Mhm. Absolutely. Well, I see you elevating to that. So, and I hear you. So if you weren't doing anything related to a Salesforce career, what would you be doing?
I've thought about that so many times, and there's part of me that like still has the brain of a teenager. Like if I can find a way to play video games and get paid for that, that would be cool. Uh, but actually, believe it or not, I really miss the service industry. Um, you know, Before my life as a software developer and entrepreneur, I worked over at Disneyland, and there was it was a challenging job, but there was just something so special about it. People were there on their vacation, living out their fantasies, and I got to help them with part of that. Just make a small little difference in their day, and I got to do that again and again and again, day over day. And it like I said, it had its challenges, but looking back on it, it was so rewarding too. And hey, it comes with a great benefit of being able to get into Disneyland for free. So
Well, it sounds like there's a theme in your life. You really like to help others and really give them a little step forward, whether it is for their epic vacation or if it's their dream or if it is a step into tech, any and all of the above. So that's something that I'm definitely hearing here. Um, so let's talk about food. If you had to choose to eat one meal time after time, day after day for the rest of your life, what would you eat?
my mom's spaghetti.
Oh yeah.
Like no hesitation on that one.
All right.
I can eat that all day, every day.
So if you could be any superhero, who would you be?
See, that one is just so unbelievably tough. You know, I've always idolized the supers, Superman and Supergirl. But they like they've got every single power. Yeah, well, they don't have every single power, but they got strength, they got speed, they're invulnerable, laser eyes, cooling breath, like they've got all of these cool, really awesome powers, but it's really about how they use them. Um, but I've also got that like, well, then there's the bats, and then there's the Flash, and then there's Wonder Woman. Like these are all super fantastic characters. I I really put on the spot, if I could be any superhero, it would be Doctor Who.
I love it. Why Doctor?
I mean, like at the end of the day, the TARDIS is cool, and so are fezzes.
Awesome. So, well, I mean, I see another theme here. Doctor Who is a persona because Doctor Who changes, right? And also is traveling through time, interdimensionally, saving the world and helping people. I think we're hearing a theme.
Possibly. Honestly, I was in a little bit of a panic mode, and I was trying to think about my favorite superheroes throughout my life, and then I looked up at literally the art on my wall, and it was like, duh, you're forgetting someone big.
Absolutely. And that's interesting that you chose Doctor Who, like I said, because it really aligns with everything that you said. So I think that's really cool. All right. So, last question. If you had to choose between the newest game console and got first dibs on any new game release versus meeting the entire cast of all the Star Wars films plus George Lucas, which would you choose?
Is it all of the living cast or all of the cast?
All. I said all. All.
Well, I'm gonna have to go with Star Wars. I do regret that I never had the opportunity to meet Carrie Fisher or Peter Mayhew or Kenny Baker. I have had the pleasure of spending a couple of moments with Mark Hamill and having him tell just an amazing story, and definitely one of the highlights of my life. Yeah, I grew up loving Star Wars, and still to this day, I don't know if I ever told you, but I saw The Force Awakens 12 times in the theater.
Whoa, that's awesome.
I could not get enough, and for the first time in my life I had disposable income, so that's where I disposed it.
Well, we have to use disposable income on things that we are passionate about and we love dearly. So, hey, all power to you on that. That's awesome. So, you have 5 seconds to shout out anything that you want to promote, support, go.
I always love to just point out the Transgender Law Center and the Human Rights Campaign. They are doing amazing work with just making sure that everyone has fair and equal access to not just to resources and representation, but they are really trying to better society.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Miranda, for being with me today. This has been a tremendous conversation about what it is to be a woman in tech, learning a little bit about you, and learning that there is truly a theme that Miranda loves to help others and loves to make a positive impact. And it's really an honor to be here with you and share the space.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
All right, bye, everybody. Till next time. Thank you for spending time with us. Please like and subscribe to our channel because we share weekly content to support your tech and Salesforce learning journey. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a new video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and on 100daysoftrailhead.com, all of which are listed below. Thank you for learning with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.